Hey guys, Jengar here. Today we are in the N1K1 Kyuofu, the new Japanese float plane that has been introduced in patch 1.65. Let's take a look at this plane in realistic battle and see what it can do. I'll see you in the match. Hey guys, so here we are in the match. Now we are in the N1K float plane, and I have been looking forward to this plane because the N1K is a fantastic plane and the N1K2s are fantastic as well. So I thought, well, I mean, another N1K will be wonderful. It should be fantastic. But it's not great. It's not bad either, let me say that. But of course it's a float plane. It has these pylons hanging off it. And that changes the whole ball game, of course. I mean, the N1K1, the original one that was brought into the game, is a fantastic plane. I mean, it's one of the best at its battle rating. But add these pylons to that airframe and you get a much slower plane. A plane that is dragging, a plane that you need to be very careful with while you maneuver, and it doesn't even turn that well. No, here we go, by the way, for our first target coming up. He's after one of our allies and we come in to support. But around this mark already, around 400 kilometers, you have to be very careful in your maneuvering, swift movements and all that jazz. You can even rip wings while you are not redlining. I have had that happen a few times when I did some quick movements in defensive flying. It just cracks up this plane. And that makes it very tricky to fly. It's not fast. It doesn't have good energy retention. Of course, with these pylons, it doesn't accelerate too well either. Like I said, it doesn't turn well too good either. General maneuverability is reasonable. Firepower is pretty good. But there's not much to work with in this plane. Let's say that. But, well, what else can I say? I mean, it's a float plane. You've got to be a little bit lucky with how the matches pan out. You do want to start high, of course, and get the altitude advantage over planes. But yeah, like I said, its biggest advantage is the armament. The cannons are very effective. You get them on target in their convergence. They can rip planes to pieces. And for the rest, you've got to be very careful at what you do in this plane. You don't want to give up your energy too quickly. If you look at this plane objectively, boom and zooming, it can do boom and zooming really well. At any speed that is higher than 450, you will be in danger of ripping stuff off. And when you make any movements, when you have a high speed, you can forget about it. It will rip. So yeah, boom and zooming is out of the question. And you come to energy fighting. Energy fighting is very difficult in this plane, as there's very bad energy retention due to these pylons. The climb rate isn't too great either, although that isn't too half bad quality of this plane, to be honest. But there are other worse qualities this plane has. But you lose a lot of energy in maneuvers in this plane as well, so it's not too great at energy fighting as well. And then you come to turn fighting. Can you lure planes in and start a turn fight with them, defeat them in a turn fight? A lot of planes you will lose a turn fight against because of these pylons, and it's just without the pylons many of the planes are more maneuverable. Like the N1K1 flight model without the pylons is very good and it turns pretty well. But this one is hampered by the pylons, and it doesn't have the maneuverability of the A6M2N, that other float plane, that earlier float plane the Japanese have. It's much more maneuverable, and you can do more shenanigans with that. You will be outmaneuvered and outturned by many planes when you fly this float plane. So it is very difficult to use in all 3 of the roles a fighter plane can have. And that makes this one difficult to fly and frustrating. You get killed a lot of times, you rip yourself to pieces while learning this plane a lot of times. And before you really mastered it, you will already probably have given up on this plane. Because there's so much better to fly at 2.7 battle rating in realistic battle. There's many planes that are, that is just more effective to fly out at this plane. Not much reason to fly this plane. Maybe that will change when they introduce naval battle maps where you can fly planes and sailboats at the same time, but I don't know. We'll have to see when that comes, if that comes. I don't know. But for flying at this battle rating as a Japanese, this plane is definitely not your first go-to plane that is very obvious as a choice. Definitely not obvious, and you will you will basically be a big pain to yourself if you fly this plane out a lot. But still, if you are careful and you position it in the right way, you can make it work. But I would still say that it's the pilot that then makes it work. Pilot skill can make any plane work, and that goes for this plane as well. But it's by no definition a top plane or even a better than average plane. I think this plane is sub-average on many of its characteristics compared to the other planes at this battle rating. Not saying you can't make it work though. But that's then down to the pilot. Now, this match, we already have 3 kills and we are looking for the last guy in the match. That is this guy. He's in an SB2M and we are quickly approaching him. He seems to be climbing at a pretty steep angle for this plane. I don't mind that, so I was trying to get, well, I was trying to get that shot. I was hoping for a fire, of course, but like I said, the armament is good. The cannons are definitely a plus point on this plane, and we made good use of it in this match. But I have had a lot of frustration. Let me make that clear. I have had my above average share of rips, wing rips, in this plane. While making normal maneuvers you can do in any other kind of plane, but the pylons make it impossible in this plane. And you know how I like to move my planes. So first place in the team in this match with 4 kills. Let's see what kind of rewards that got us. Oh, we've got a battle trophy. And we've got a blind hunt. That's good. I needed those. I had run out of those. Give me that. Yes. Let's see what we got. We've got a Terror of the Sky with a bulletproof, 44,000 Silver Lions with 3,700 research points. First in the team. I'll see you in the conclusion. Hey guys, so here we are after the match. Now this is not really an N1K1. The one without the pylons is much better, I have to say. You can use this plane in its intended role as a boom and zoomer / energy fighter. And you will face a lot of problems with the pylons and the speeds in a dive. You can rip your wings easily with the pylons hanging out. So yeah, it's not really usable in many of the roles. It's not strong in it. You have to be very careful in a descent and in a turn. And yeah, that makes problems for this plane, I have to say. It's not fast because of all these pylons hanging out. It doesn't turn very well, not spectacular, not anything worth mentioning. It doesn't have good energy retention, it doesn't have good acceleration, it doesn't have terribly good climb rate. It's not too bad, but I mean, yeah, it's not fantastic either. And well, the armament is pretty good. The Type 99 cannons with 200 rounds is alright, and the machine gun, good ammo load on it as well. So yeah, I found a lot of frustration in this plane with wing ripping and stuff like that, unnecessary deaths. Be very careful in this plane, I have to say. Avoid the frustration that I have had in this plane. I still managed to get 30 kills to my 13 deaths, but that only happened after I got to know it a little bit, and because of enemy pilots that made stupid mistakes, like in this fight I showed you, people low, and if you come from above you can still do something in this plane if you're careful. Be careful. So yeah, not a plane I would pick up on a regular basis, let's say. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye. If you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button, become part of this community. If you are already a subscriber, don't forget to like the video, do leave me a comment, and if you really feel like helping out today, make sure to share the video with your friends and let them know about the channel.